I shared it out.
All right. Let's hope this works. I've set it as live. Checking YouTube. I don't see anything yet.
It says we're live. Yep, we're live.
I don't see
anything
after
on dark.
YouTube.
Yep, it's on.
Okay, it's just
hey, everybody.
And it's automatically muted. Perfect. All right, let me check. I still don't see any comments in.
I've seen, let's see, Hippie John's here, Roman, Fanaticals, and I talked to Chris Stubbs. He came in to leave a like and say hello, but he's busy. But thank you, Chris, for stopping in.
All right.
And that's all.
But we're live. So I'm trying to figure out the comments system because YouTube is delayed and it's screwing me up.
Right.
And that's the only way I can see comments.
See, I have to watch YouTube on my chat, and then my StreamYard is on the tablet.
Might have to rearrange windows.
Hey, at least we're live this time. I think last time we weren't live for a few minutes and we were just chatting away.
Oh, no. Last time, okay, so November we had I set it up in YouTube first.
Hey,
and
Jeff.
then I went to StreamYard, and you can't do it that way. You have to set it up in. Okay, I'm going to get confused. So I think you have to set it up in StreamYard first.
Okay.
And that's why
Jess just
the
came
link
in.
wasn't working. Hi, Jess. Thanks for joining us.
Maintails, Fins, and Furs, the aquatic morning show. That's the best show. Oh my gosh, Jess, you have just blown it out of the water, girl. You've got it going on.
All righty. Well, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I've got my 40-gallon aquarium. So let me see if we can get a better look at that.
It really looks good.
There it is. So
now, what all do you just have the black skirts in there, or are there other fish?
So yeah, I was hoping to talk about our aquariums a little bit. So
hey, Dirty Doug.
9 black skirt tetras in there. I've got 2 scissortail rasboras left, and 2 balloon mollies, a mystery snail. You see the balloon molly swimming at the top there.
Hey, John.
There's
John
a
Larson
in the background. And then there's
I like those.
bluegill. The bluegill was up earlier and he chased away a black skirt. He's the big fish that's in there.
Oh, that's neat. Did you catch him in your pond?
Yeah, he's hanging out by the filter on the far left.
So that's really cool.
I still don't know what to do with him. I think he might end up back in my pond. I mean, I would love to find someone who would take him and, who I guess he'd have to go in with larger fish like cichlids. I don't know.
Who is it? There's a Cold Water Aquatics. His name is Brandon, and he keeps all.
There he is. He just chased him.
Yeah. He's got all kind of fish like that are wild caught. Oh, sorry. There goes the dog.
So Mary was asking what lighting I have on here before we went live. And I have, okay, I don't know the brand. But I have 2 LED strip lights on there that I can alternate the colors as whatever color basically I want in the red spectrum. It has green and blue. So I can make it all yellow. And so I like to do it at night. Not every night, but just for this live stream to make it look nice.
It does. Oh, there's the bluegill.
So there he is. There's a front light and a back light, and the back light is in red right now, and the front one is in blue.
It looks really good. It gives a nice dramatic look. It's really pretty.
But since everyone is saying the blue lighting causes cyanobacteria growth,
yeah,
I've
heard that too.
Have it in blue. So at night, actually, I'll just turn off all the white LEDs and I'll keep on the yellow. So it has more of a sunny look to it at night. But I was like, I don't think that looks good for the stream. So I made it look nice just for the stream. It's not normally like this. Let's see. So you guys are joining us, I wanted to let you guys know in
Hey,
the
Kenny
description.
and Danny.
No, we're here. We're just two ladies here wanting to talk about our aquariums and share our hobby. And we'd like to do like fish keeping and aquariums on a budget. And, you know, between the two of us, we have enough knowledge to help beginners in the fish hobby. I don't know how many people are beginners, though, who might be joining us, or if they're just regular people, you know, who've been in the hobby
for sure. We've got some great fish keepers here that I know I personally watch, and I know you do too. Like Kenny and Danny, they're here from Danican Aquatics. I know John Larson, Dirty Doug, Jess, of course, and Chris Stubbs, Fanaticals, and Roman. They all have great experience. That's who I learned from. And then Cassie and I, we just kind of take everything we learn from you guys, although she knows a little bit more than me. And these dogs, oh my gosh, sorry.
They were not barking on Father Fish's stream. So funny. They always bark when she comes up with me. No, that was always like a constant being on the live stream with Father Fish and Mary's. Mary's dogs would always come in and bark. All right, so John says, I keep my 150 blue light on 24/7 on a low setting. So any problems doing that, John?
Okay, that should be
not
better.
If we do it all the time. John says he keeps his aquarium on the blue light setting all the time.
Okay. Let's see. I think it was Alex I watched. He talked about lighting one time, and he was talking about leaving if you leave them on all night, you know how you just put the night light on, that it can eventually cause stress. And of course, like you said, the bacteria or the algae bloom or whatever. But
yes, he did not recommend that. I think and I can't remember who I heard it from as well. Like the fish. Oh, it might have been that link you sent me to the veterinarian. Green Aqua.
Oh yeah, Green Aqua. That was a good video. They had a veterinarian come on there and talk about lighting.
I didn't watch it all the way, but I made it like halfway, and I got to the part where he said like they need a period of like no light for like a minimum like 3 hours. They do sleep for 3 hours stretches, but you know, like he said, 6 to 8 hours, you know, so keeping it off at night is good for the fish.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, I was watching that going, gee, if you're keeping it off for only 6 hours and 8 hours, I mean, like, you're keeping a really long photo period then during the day with your lights on, which is like way over the suggested amount of what people like. The max I ever hear is like people say they have it on for 12 hours.
Yeah. And you know, each person is individual too. The way their tanks are set up, the way things are, you never know what works for one person may not work for the other. So that's what I love about this community, is kind of learning from each other and hearing experiences.
Yes. And I'm trying to take it all in and find out which is the best out of all that information out there.
I don't know a lot, and I try, like when I do videos and stuff, I feel like I'm not trying to be any kind of expert. I'm just telling what I've tried and what I'm doing. And then if I don't know something, I can usually tell you who to go talk to. Like, you know, when it comes to species and different fish, hey, go see Danican, go see Kenny, you know, go talk to Father Fish, go talk, you know, I know how to do that kind of stuff. I'm kind of like the Walmart breeder. I can send you to the right department. Hey, Scott Stankovich and Wendy.
Well, I think you do more than that, more than you give yourself credit for.
It's starting to absorb. Father Fish said the other day, he said, I remember when you came on and you used to say, I don't know. And I wouldn't say anything. And now I'm kind of giving a little input back.
There he is.
Oh, he's so pretty.
We've tried to catch him. We tried to catch him.
Nice, John.
Over the summer, and I could not get him. We spent like 10 minutes trying to catch him and couldn't get him.
Yeah.
And then
That's
my
really
husband
neat.
caught him. I went somewhere and I forget where I was, but I had gone somewhere. And he caught him with my son, with our son. And I came home and he had him like up in this little, what do you call it? Like a little basket.
Catch container or something.
Fish.
Yeah.
He somehow found that. I don't even know where that was. Somehow he found that. I think it might have been under the sink, and he got that out and put it in the little like baby fish basket. And I'm like, what the heck? I'd leave for like a couple hours and I'd come home into this.
Right. That's how I kind of
really nice.
I fell in love with fish that way because my granddad used to, we went fishing all the time, and he'd always catch like little baby bass or little bluegills or crappie. Well, we say crappie in South Carolina. They said crappie here in Kentucky. Different fish like that, and he would let me keep them. And that's kind of what got me into keeping fish as a young girl, or playing in the creek chubs and crawfish and frogs and turtles.
Well,
I love it.
It was like too cold. Like he was like, okay, so here's the fish. He's caught. Now you can do what you want with him. Put him in the pond. I'm like, what? Or sell him. I'm like, I can't sell him. I have to have like somebody lined up to ship him to. And I'm like, and I don't know how to ship fish yet. And I, don't know that I ever will. But
yeah,
so I'm like, he's probably going to go back into the pond unless I can find a local person. And I'm like, and it's cold. Like you have to temperature acclimate. He's going from like 76 degrees, and the pond water is probably, behind your house. It was a cold day. So 40 degrees. I'm like,
they're more of a cold water fish
to do that. I'm like, let's wait till the summer when I don't really have to temperature
acclimate. Hey,
Roxanne.
There's Roxanne. Hey, girl. Hope you're feeling better.
How you doing? Oh, she wasn't feeling good?
She's just been, like what everybody's going through with this winter season and all the little sinus and all that good stuff. So I'm glad to see you here, Roxanne. I love you so much.
Yeah.
And we need you to come up. We need you to come up with us. We need you to come up with us one night, Cass, on the Hot Mess Express. You could be a definite official member.
Okay. I will try. You just have to send me like a reminder. I'll try, as long as it's not around dinner time.
You keep resting, Roxanne. Just glad you're here. John Larson was talking about his blue lights on the low setting. Small set, she's kind of like moonlight. Okay. He's using those current USA lights. I have one of those, and I really like that particular light. It's a good brand.
I won't do it anymore now that Alex has said don't do it.
Right. But, that was like on this, like, if you just run it like, wait a minute.
Or this one.
This is a blue ball light, like running it like that all night. Yeah. Same way.
This has the option of blue or white. So I guess if you have, it's really for the neon, the glowfish, like the neon tetras. What do you call the glow? I guess glow tetras.
Just the glow. Yeah, it's like a white skirt tetra that's got the genetically modified whatever, or the glow bettas. I've had glow bettas before.
Yeah, Father Fish has talked about that before, whether or not how they got that color.
They're not dyed. They've been they've been genetically modified with gene or something from jellyfish. Is that correct? I think.
I thought it was coral, like from coral is what I heard. The colors that make coral glow, like somehow they put that in.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so this tank could be for that, that's how they get children into the hobby. Yeah.
And I think that glowfish were originally brought about because they were used for environmental studies, like as, they put them in different waterways to check, I guess, pollution and stuff like that. For some reason, them being glowfish or whatever, I may be completely wrong, y'all correct me, but it was a way to study the environmental impact on particular fish in certain areas. I'm trying to sound smart. I got my glasses on, but
Sounds good. Well,
it sounded
here,
good.
if you guys ever make it out to Florida, down here by us, by the river, we're on the, what river are we on? Well, we're on the Indian River, but
Yeah.
If we can go out that way, and they have kayakers. They'll get tourists who just want to go kayaking. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
what they'll do is they'll do nighttime kayaking, and not
That
now,
would be
of course,
fun.
when it's warmer, but
Right.
there's a season where there's like bioluminescence, and you can go out at night and just, it's really fun. We went out, we didn't kayak, but we just drove out, and like we were just kind of out in the water with our feet, and we are kicking and splashing, and like every time you make a movement in the water, like it kicks up that bioluminescence, so it glows. So the more splashy you are, the more you see it.
Oh, that's neat.
It's really
Hey,
fun, and like the
Fanaticals.
tourists do it.
Welcome, everybody. I think we have 10 watching now. We have 12 likes, so that's good.
All right, good job on the likes.
Glad
Yeah,
you're here, Dirty Doug.
I don't know if I got the right link out earlier in the week when I posted it. So
Well, we've tried to do this several times, and every time either I've got something going on or Cassie has something going on, and we always have to cancel it. So I'm just excited we finally made it. This microphone's got a vibration. Sorry, guys. My microphone is terrible. My cats have eaten it.
I just heard it. I didn't hear it before until now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we talked very much in January. I think Mary was sick.
Yeah.
We alternate when we're not feeling good. My son was just had like a bout of a little bout of congestion, and he had a fever, so I kept him home from school for one day. But it's been happening so often, and it happens every fall. So
Right.
I really got to remember, it's usually allergies. I got to remember that when it happens to start giving him his allergy pills, because then like the school gets, kind of frowns upon that he missed like 9 days.
Oh, it's been horrible.
And he misses
We've had to do a lot of homeschooling or virtual schooling. We've had to do that a lot with the grandbabies, and it's been, I mean, the schools can't get too mad because it's going around all the time.
Well, so it flagged like 9 days. You're allowed 9 days, and 2 of them might have been excused from a doctor's note, or more. But like you're allowed that, and it got flagged in the report card though.
Oh, did it?
We need to have a meeting, or I'm like, okay. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of out of our control, and he, like, I don't know. I think he's like me. I was never sick as a kid, but now we have like similar symptoms. So I get more sick now than I did as a kid. And so I feel for him because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be in school feeling the way I do. And I'm glad that I don't have to go to work because I would miss a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. It seems like we've had a lot more fatigue and just tiredness with whatever, I think these are the after effects and the long-term effects of the state of the nation right now. I won't say the big C word, but John wants to know,
I'll get a little
the alligators
for one day, at least once a month.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then luckily this last time, I think I had gotten a fever, and then I was like, okay, so I called in sick because I was supposed to sub on Monday. So I called in sick, and then the fever went away, and I was feeling congestion. Like I was getting like a sore throat from the drip, and I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't turn into anything big. Well, it really didn't. It stayed very mild, and I was surprised because the last time that happened, I was like, I had congestion for 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So this time it only and I was able to go back and sub the rest of the week. But, I hate that. It's like, it's so bad.
Right. I know we've been doing virtual schooling with our 3-year-old twins. Have you ever tried to do virtual school with 3-year-olds and try to get them to sit on a computer? That's just like impossible.
Yeah.
Yes,
I wouldn't
Roxanne,
try it.
right.
I would not recommend that.
Roxanne says
Hey,
it right. She
Tone.
calls it human malware. That's it. Hey, T-Bone. There's our friend
I'm
T-Bone.
still not even
Good
sure how
day.
I feel about kids being in VPK. I feel like keep them home, if you can. Don't send them to school until kindergarten.
Right.
And then I've had to sub in kindergarten classes recently. I'm like, oh my God, some of these kids are such a handful. And they just I feel bad for the teacher. I'm like, gosh, you need an assistant. Well, they don't give kindergarten teachers assistants like
Oh
they do
gosh, they need
the
it the
VPK
worst.
teacher. The VPK
Right.
teacher has an assistant. And, so now they've got 19 kids. I think she had 23 because they got rid of a kindergarten teacher. So they had to add one back in because she had 23 kids.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm I felt so bad for her. I had to sub one day for her, and she was right outside the room, and I kept going, I need help. I need help. But if she wasn't there, I would have gone crazy.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, I salute you for subbing and being in the teaching system because that takes a special person to help educate our young folks these days. It's a whole different ball game than when we were kids.
Yeah,
Kids,
and
well,
I tend
the
not to want to do the
social
younger
media
kids.
and yeah,
I
it's
tend not to
different.
want to do the younger kids anymore because I'm I swear the last time I was in there, I had gotten sick really bad right after subbing for VPK. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to sub in there anymore. Because it's either my son has it and he makes me sick. So, I'm getting it from 2 different sources,
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
just keeps going round and round.
yeah, so it's tough. It's tough having kids and subbing because, we're getting sick all the time.
Right.
So I'm I just would prefer being with the older kids now. Now that my kids are growing up, I guess I graduate and grow up with them, and I prefer subbing for their ages. So, 3rd, 4th, and 5th is what I like to do. Where I used to like to do 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But yeah, it's something that you don't understand that you're going to like it until you try it. And then, I was afraid of the older grades. And now that they're growing up, now I'm like, God, I don't want to do the younger grades.
Right.
They don't listen for beans. So
No, they do not.
I was more understanding when my kids were that age.
Right. Well, back then we still went outside and played. We went outside and played in creeks and did stuff, and we didn't have phones, hooked to us all the time. And kids just don't, I don't know. It's so different now.
Yeah, and that's
But,
the other thing. Now they're recording teachers in the classroom. I'm like, oh God, please
yeah.
don't record me. I'm like, I hope that
Okay,
never
kitty
happens
cats.
to me. That'd be bad.
Oh, yeah, fanaticals. That's what it is. It seems like, I've got friends, and I won't mention names, but for the past 3 months, they've had it and they're still testing positive. So I don't know. It's just one of those, we just don't know the after effects yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the C word. I said it.
I didn't
Human
even.
malware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, are we not allowed to say it?
I don't know. I don't see why it's a problem anymore.
Mm.
It's there. It's here. I mean, there's 50,000 variants. We're going to get it, and we just have to build that, herd immunity or whatever, and we'll get over it. Keep fish in fish tanks. It will keep you from getting it. Okay.
Don't leave your house. I mean, honestly, Mary, I got sick because the kids did go back to school. We're in Florida. We were the first ones to send our kids back to school, and I wasn't totally on board with that. And I wasn't sure how I felt, but I was like, okay, I think it's still good for them to be just to try to have a normal life. I understand teachers need their jobs, and I guess they all just wanted to go back to normal so that they could work, because nobody liked doing the virtual thing. And I was like, I'm okay if we stay virtual, but
right.
I don't
I'm
know,
laughing
like
at John.
back, would I do it differently? I think it is what it is. You're gonna get sick sooner or later.
Right. It's inevitable. John said, Mary, when we were kids, cars still had round rocks for wheels.
You're not that old. Come on.
Yeah, Fanaticals,
we
just
watched
exhausted.
cartoons like that.
Right. We were Flintstoning it, John Larson. We had our feet on the ground like the Flintstones. Oh, that's so funny.
I wanted to mention something about what I'd watched earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm planning on setting up the aquarium behind me. Plan on doing a video of how I'm going to set that up, and the aquarium that's empty next to that 40. And I'm going to try out a new method. So honestly, I used to think that this method was crazy and didn't make any sense. And somehow I got kind of back into it and listening to the videos for the anoxic filter. And Mary and I have talked a lot about it behind the scenes. Yeah. I'm like, Mary, what do you think about this?
I think it's all worth trying out.
Before.
Right.
And I think you had brought it up. So I was like, well, I'm not going to knock it until I try it. And so I went and did a little more research and was watching Dr. Novak's videos, because he's the one who came up with the anoxic filter. And I was like, let me try to understand it better before I knock it.
Yeah. Well, I know Sean Pet Tech, he's got he's got lots of different tanks, and he's set up each kind that he's learned about. And then he's kind of doing videos on each one and the results and that kind of stuff. And, I've tried different systems. I prefer the dirted tank. That's just me. I think it's easier. I think it's, for me, it's foolproof. I mean, that's the thing. It's just foolproof. And based on the Wallstat method. But that doesn't mean I'd like to not try other things, because I would love to try, that kind of system with using an undergravel filter and using what they call the reverse flow trickle filter, which you put a power head on your undergravel filter, and instead of the air going down and bubbling it up, it pushes warm water down through the filter plates. And Colin Barsby from Aussie Aquatics has done this, and I think it would be neat to try too. So I mean, I think it's worth trying anything.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me, and I was scratching my head. I'm like, what are you talking about, Mary?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out the Dr. Novak system. And then you mentioned that. I'm like, what? That's not what Dr. Novak does.
Chris said, Cassie,
it doesn't matter which way the water flows. So
right. Chris, Cassie, did you see my new short where I was dancing?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry, guys. My kids caught me dancing. But now Cassie and I are quite the dancers. Last time we did a live stream, she did the chicken dance for us, and it was fantastic.
I think I was doing the July live stream.
I was doing the Dougie.
If you really want to go look at the ridiculousness, I think that was
the last
July time. At the end. But you have to watch the whole thing before you get to the end.
Right. Oh, that would be cool, John. He wants to do a dirty tank with a carpet planted bottom, but to set it up will take a long time. That's it. It takes a while, to let it settle in. That's the biggest thing. Okay. I'm glad y'all love my nonsense.
I'm like, what? Carpet? Okay. With the plant.
Scott, go back and look at my new short. You'll never be the same.
I will look after.
I was just doing water changes and it hit me, so I had to dance.
My kids don't do that yet, so they don't catch me on video.
I thought about doing, you know how those TikTok challenges where they do these crazy dance moves, but there's a lot of twerking and stuff going on, and I don't know if people are ready to see a 50-something-year-old woman twerking, but I can do it. I didn't say it was right. I just said I could do it.
No, I haven't mastered that, and I won't try.
And wait till my arthritis kicks in.
I had to do. My friend like suckered me into belly dancing. So
we
had to do the shimmy with the shoulders.
There you go.
And then like our chest. I hated that. I'm like,
I like to do the shoulder
shimmy because it like
I'm a shoulder dancer.
Weird. And it feels weird in this area. Like, and I'm like, it feels really tight when I do that, and I don't like to do that. It's like, not my favorite.
I remember you showing me your Halloween costume where you were the belly dancer. Very nice.
I have many belly dancing. I forget what you call those now. Like anyways.
I was always a shoulder dancer. Like when I was driving and my kids were little, I'd be dancing. And one day I had my hair up in a ponytail, and back then I smoked. Unfortunately, but I smoked, and I flipped my cigarette out the window, and it came back in, caught my ponytail on fire, and I was dancing away, and my kids were screaming. I was like, y'all be quiet, I'm trying to dance to the Spice Girls, and and my hair was on fire like Michael Jackson.
Oh no. Wow.
Oh, I've done some silly stuff.
I wish you had to go get a haircut after that.
Wendy, Scott's wife Wendy is laughing. Hey, Lori, there's Monster Fish Girl, Kass.
Hey,
how are
you?
You
made it in tonight. The one and
always love to see Lori. She is the greatest.
So going back to what I was talking about, though, I felt like I had to give a little history because, like, that's my plan moving forward is to set these guys up with the Dr. Novak system.
Okay.
So I'll have like a side-by-side comparison on the, like, Dr. Novak on the left and Father Fish on the right.
Hey, that'll be interesting, though.
Comparison.
Right.
See which one does better. But so I've got these. So this is for the under gravel filter.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to modify one of these, and I have to take out the circle and put in. Now he modified it.
Intake.
It's not the cheapest, Mary. Like definitely, Father Fish's method is probably more budget friendly.
I was going to say budget friendly.
One step up because you have to buy an under gravel filter. So for my 40-gallon, I had to buy a set of these. Plus, I'm going to have to modify it to get like a tube here so that I can get the air bubbles down in there so that there's a little flow because he wants like a very minuscule flow using the bubbler. And that's why he calls this the plenum area. It's just the void underneath the substrate. So what it's supposed to do is like, then you build whatever you want on top. Then I'm not going to use soil, but then I could put sand on top. With his system is kitty litter, laterite, substrate, and I think it's just the kitty litter, the laterite, maybe more kitty litter, and then the substrate. Anyways, I'm gonna put it all together. But he has to it's real convenient because he came out with a video that's a 40-gallon breeder, just like mine. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, hey, I don't have to figure this out now. I can just watch what he did.
Go by the recipe.
But he kind of didn't really show the complete setups. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, did he miss putting this in and I don't know. I don't think he has the full setup. So I'm like, oh, that's the important part.
Right.
That's the part I wanted to watch. So, I'll go back and watch again. But I might have my husband figure out. We have a 3D printer. So I might have him print me something.
Huh. So what could I do to get y'all to print me off some stuff? That's really cool, though. The
Just send
3D
me money
printers.
for shipping.
All right.
No, but
Oh, by the
So-
way, before we go any farther, Lori got a new knife fish. I just wanted to tell you. His name is Blade. Okay, sorry.
Those are neat fish.
Yeah, they are.
So my son's
Oh, that's cute.
let me see which one. So my son's been 3D printing these.
Oh, that's cute.
What do you call this? Like reticulated or I don't know.
Yeah,
but
reticulated.
Really cool because it bends. So anyway, so instead of doing what Dr. Novak did, he had to buy an undergravel filter kit plus these and somehow put them together. So I'm like, well, maybe my husband can 3D print me that piece, so I don't have to go buy the separate kit, and then we can save some money that way.
It's a good idea.
But he's out of town right now. He is up he's up in Michigan, freezing his butt off. So
oh gosh.
He's like, it's so cold here. He thought he was going to get frostbite on his feet.
Oh my goodness. I've seen so many people use the 3D printers and print off so many neat things like Blake's Aquatics. He made him like an egg, the little whatever, and egg collector. What was it called? I can't even remember, but it was for celestial pearl danios maybe? Or white mountain minnows.
I saw one of his videos
Can't remember.
He was showing all his 3D print things.
Yeah. He was making keychains. He was making all kind of stuff.
My husband's been asking me left and right, well, what do you want printed for the aquarium? I'm like, nothing. I'm good.
Oh, I could think of some things.
I'm just like, I draw a blank. I'm like, I don't know. I'm good. I don't need anything. Like, there's rocks in there. I'm not going to 3D print rocks. So, it's a nature aquarium. Like, nature's going in there. So I don't want anything plastic in there. But we did. You can't see it, but I lifted my lights up off of the aquarium, and I was like, hey, honey, they have these like lifts made out of acrylic that you can buy, and it was like $17 was the cheapest for a set of 2 to lift your lights up off your aquarium like 3 inches.
Oh,
and he's like, I'm not paying that. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, wait a second, maybe that's something you could 3D print for me. So here's a
little
challenge.
adapters or just all kind of neat things.
So he did. He printed me a little lift. So I have 2 lights. So we had to do 4 lifts. And my only requirement was like, please make it black. So do you know what I got?
What did you get?
So we had the blue reel on there. So my son's printing everything in blue. Well, he didn't want to switch to black. So he printed me 3 blue ones and 1 black one.
Oh gosh. Ooh, your feet are cold.
My requirement was that they're all black.
Oh, make them all one color.
So I'm like, you're going to reprint these, right?
Does it take a long time to print something? Is it like once you get it programmed or however you do it? Is it a long process or?
Yes, it depends on the print. So let me look. I don't know. I don't know how long it took to print the aquarium light. What do we call those?
That's scruffy
lifters. So he's done these octopus.
Those are really cute. I love the little reticulated, like the little dinosaur. That is neat.
This took 3 hours, I think. This takes 3.
Oh, okay.
From start to finish.
And
So it prints it like this.
So to make something like that, is it high in cost to make something like that? Like, I'm not talking about like retailing it or selling it or whatever, but like just for yourself, does it cost a lot for the materials to do the 3D printing?
So he figures that like each reel is like $20 for the reel, and I think they go up from there. Like depending on what you get, like they have all kinds of specialty ones. But I don't know. So you just have to break it down to how many of these you could print per reel. So he says it's very affordable to print like one of these. So we did that, and I want to say the dinosaur was maybe 5 hours, possibly. I don't know. So yeah, my son usually gets like, he'll start one in the morning before he goes to school, and then he comes home, he'll start another one.
Yeah.
And he'll do like maybe 2 more after he gets back home from school.
John, are you calling my dog a fishing lure, or are you calling the octopus a fishing lure?
Oh, he's probably saying this.
I think he's talking about that.
Yeah, this could be a little fishing lure.
I don't know. She could be a catfish lure. She's teeny tiny. Man, I'm glad y'all don't have smell-o-vision. She stinks. She is a chihuahua, and chihuahuas just smell bad, don't you? Oh. She doesn't even have hair. She's just blue and has no hair. She's got a little ridge down her back. And that's it. Her little mohawk. It is a little mini. She's 16 years old. She's lost all of her teeth.
Oh,
Stay
no.
right there. Her little feet are cold where she was outside. Yeah, I think it was the octopus. I was just picking on John. Hey, John caught, like, where he lives. Wait a minute. Where are you at, John? In California? Wait, I may be wrong. But anyway, he caught the biggest trout. Am I correct on that? I'd have to go back and look. But he got, like, the record or the biggest trout for the year, I believe. That's pretty cool.
Hurry up, John. Type it in. Let us know.
That's right.
Did you watch Skipper's last night? He was saucy.
I did not. I love Skipper's. She's saucy and spicy.
He was very saucy. I was like, he's funny, and it's usually why I watch. I'm like, man, Skipper's being funny. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to make another funny comment, and then he kept making comments, and I'm like,
I love Mr. Skipper. Thomas Skipper, he is great.
I was like, is he a little different tonight than normal?
8.4.
And then later on, it got out that he was on like 4 beers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that explains a few things.
I like the live streams where people say they've been in the fireball. When they get in the fireball, it goes sideways.
He gradually got more and more saucy. And then his stream kept going on and on. I'm like, when is this going to end?
Oh, that's cool, John. His biggest fish was 8 pounds, 4 ounces, and he got 2 free boat rentals as a prize. That's a pretty good prize. That's awesome.
Not bad, not bad. At least she got something.
Not bad at all.
My 2 cats are sitting next to me in the chair.
Oh, gosh, cats. And now here comes Minnie's sister, Daisy, who has hair. Same age. Here's Daisy. God, y'all stink. They've been outside. No. They're funky. They're a little funky. So have you totally scratched your saltwater project? Did you just completely go the opposite way now? Or are you still planning on doing saltwater?
For now, yes. Because I think honestly I'd rather do like a smaller aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get my feet wet in starting small. And 40 is too big for me to try to do a saltwater because of all the buckets and where would I store the water. So I think I'd rather start smaller. I know that's not like recommended, like bigger is better, but
I've had a saltwater one time in my life.
You're on the internet and
hello,
Google and YouTube.
We've had.
How are you? No.
Excuse me.
Want to come and say hi? Everyone.
How are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Mary, this is Rylan. Oh, you're killing my leg.
I know who Rylan is. He probably doesn't know who I am, but I've heard all about you, Rylan.
Yeah, I know you are.
Okay.
I've seen plenty of your texts.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I love children. They always say the truth. They know.
Go back out there. See ya.
Bye, Rylan.
Bye.
He is too cute.
Little inquisitive kiddos. That's the one earlier. If you guys, he had found my secret stash. not take my snacks. I have to hide my food from him
That's bad when you have to hide food from the kids.
because they eat it too fast. And I'm like, so this is my like food for when I go subbing. Like it's my breakfast bar. And I'm like, okay, I like the good stuff and I don't want to share. So
This is
eat
Mom.
it all in one sitting. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can't be buying that stuff all the time. So no.
Oh.
So he found it. I'm like, I didn't think you looked in there. And he apparently did.
Yeah.
Because I normally don't put anything in the one drawer. And it's just like kernels and lentils and stuff that I'm like, I need to put somewhere. So I'm like, he'll never look in here. And he did.
My grandson, the other grandma, my daughter's mother-in-law, she hid all the chocolate in her room, and my little grandson called them greasy cups. He called them chocolate cups, and he came and got Calvin one time. We were all staying over at her house for a holiday or something, and he came and got Calvin, and he said, "Come on, we're going in Nini's room." And Calvin was like, "No, I'm not going to Nini's room." And he said, "Oh yes, we are." He said, "Look into my eyes. We're going to go get the chocolate cups."
He knew where they were.
He wanted Calvin to go steal all the Reese cups with him. Fanatical says, "I have a cupboard with lasers." Have to do it like
it's like they have a sixth sense for seeking that stuff out.
Oh yeah. I'm crooked. Okay. Oh.
But
see if there's any questions or anything going on here. We've just been hanging out and appreciate everybody being here. And I'm sorry for these rattly earphones. They're rattling in my ear.
I am going to I'm going to convert you guys. We'll see. So
okay.
So what I was saying anyways earlier, trying to give you the background. So I was watching Dr. Novak talk about water quality and dirty filters on his recent video today. And he had watched a video or probably a Q&A live stream that Corey had done. And Corey was talking about the cartridge in your aquarium. And just because it's dirty doesn't mean you have poor water, like poor water quality. So he was like, I never comment on anybody's videos, but he commented on that one saying that he agreed with him. And the conclusion was, that, yeah, a dirty filter doesn't mean you have poor water quality. So, but he went on to say that, like, you need a redox meter to observe the oxidizers in your water, in your aquarium, and to see, like, how much oxygen, I guess, your aquarium is reading. Well, not everybody has a redox meter. And I honestly, I don't know. I don't know that I would go buy one, but he's saying that the water quality now is no longer just about ammonia, nitrates, and phosphates. If you want to understand it better, like, you need also to look at the redox. So he was saying, he's done the cartridges, and the dirtier his filter got, he said he's had the redox meter, he's had higher values on the meter. So my conclusion to that, with him saying that, was that it must mean that the dirty filter has just a really good colony of bacteria in there. It's living in your dirty filter media, and that colony is keeping the system oxygenated. So the higher the redox, the healthier the fish.
Sure, yeah.
So now the question becomes, and I've had this question for a while, and I guess, other people, if you've been in the hobby for a while, like, I know Alex has done a video on it with the filter.
Yeah.
And saying like he's basically unplugged his filters and stopped cleaning.
Oh yeah.
And he's got all that brown. He's left his media alone. And I'm like,
Like, just taking the cartridges out, sticking some like lava rocks or matrix in there, and just letting it get all moamy and just barely trickling. I've kind of gotten that way with my filters now, and it works. It really does.
I don't know if you can hear the kids. Let me go shut the door.
Okay. Right, John. That's it. Well, hello, Lumpy Dog. How are you? Glad you're here.
But I've had that question too, though. Like, how do you know? The dog just opened the door.
Jordan.
Thanks, Jordy. Like, how do you know, though, like, if that's good for your aquarium or not? Like, if you should wring it out or leave it in there, So
Yeah.
I guess my answer is I just have to look at my fish and see how are they doing. If they look like they're getting sicker, then I'm going to clean it.
Right.
Go back to just keeping a clean filter. So, like, I've done that and I've left it alone. I'm like, oh. And then I've had a fish, like, get sick. I'm like, I'm going to go back to cleaning my filter.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the question is, is it good to clean your filter if it looks dirty? And
unless it's just messing with the flow. But like we were just talking about Alex, I noticed some of his filters are just barely trickling through the mulm and the stuff. And so it depends on how big the tank is and the bio load. Right, John?
Well, I think the answer to that, watching his video and hearing what he said, is that you need to test your water rather than looking to see if your filter's dirty, because so Dr. Novak then concluded that, you can have your water tested immediately to see if it's poor with equipment. And I was like, well, I presume he means using a redox meter,
Roman,
as he had mentioned. And I don't know, like, where any of this equipment is available in my town.
Right.
Like,
that's what gets me is
where do you go
all these extra. I mean, the fanciest piece of equipment I have is like, just a sponge filter right now and some test strips from Aquarium Co-op.
Well, so I don't even have like
Hippie John and Roman.
I don't have a nitrate or ammonia test kits. I use the test strips, and I'm not 100% certain that they tell me the truth all the time.
I have to say, I've been using the Aquarium Co-op ones from my Christmas presents I got, wherever they are. And so far, so good with these. I think they are a little bit better quality, and not trying to sell anything or anything like that. But they also...
you have used them and you've used others. I trust your opinion. If you think those are good.
And then it also comes with the little, I don't know where it went, but it has like a laminated chart. So you don't have to worry about, hold on. For example,
the reason I don't trust mine is it does not tell me the hardness correctly.
I had the test strips, these kind, and the chart got messed up, so I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I saw your video has it laminated now.
And these, it comes with this little chart here, and you can lay the test strip. Which way does it go? That way. You lay the test strip right there, so it's easy to read. You don't have to worry about it getting messed up. And for the, for the budget friendly and value, you get 200 strips of that one. I can't remember how much it is, but it's under, way under $20. And then the ammonia test strips. So until then, though, I really wasn't even testing my water. I just was really good about water changes, like doing a 10 or 20% water change, at least once or twice a week, just little water changes. And I've never had any problems.
When I got into the hobby, I was told to test phosphates. So the only water kit thing that I ever bought was phosphates. So what good that didn't do me. I might have had phosphates and pH were the two like shaking liquid dosage.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm like, those don't do me very, very good, like for trying to determine, because my pH, it's not going to change. It really, unless if you have high carbonates in your water, your pH is going to remain stable and it's not going to change. So I'm like, what good does it do me to test my pH all the time? It's like always the same value.
Right. Lumpy Dog says it right there.
So I ended up getting the test strips to test everything else, but I don't trust them because they don't tell me my water hardness. Like the color that's on them doesn't show match any of the colors on their chart. So
oh really?
I've tested my water hardness separate and bought a kit for that.
Yeah.
And
Let's
so I'm like,
see.
I know what my water hardness is, and the strips don't tell me accurately at all because it's off the
Yeah.
chart when I test it with the strips.
I think mine is whatever it is.
According to
It's
that,
like
I have no
the
hardness.
K.
I do have hardness. So.
Yeah, I have hard water because we have well water here.
So I'm not very trusting of the test strips. And they always tell me I have 0 nitrates and nitrates. Like it always reads like 0.
Yeah.
So which
Maybe
goes back, like you get a sick fish. I'm like, well, I had like 0 nitrites and nitrates. So I don't know what was wrong with my water. According to that, everything was hunky dory, and I don't know why I've got a sick fish now.
Right.
So I don't
That's
necessarily test. I look at the fish now over the strips and try to see
right,
how
Lumpy
they're doing.
and Roman.
And then I'll go back.
That's
and
it.
Maybe I need to clean that filter.
Right.
I haven't changed it in a while. Maybe it's time to change it.
That's the best indicator is watching your fish. And you know, some people have those canary in a coal mine fish, like what's one that I've seen people use? Like they, you know, if they start getting discolored or faded or whatever, you know something's going on with your water. Why are these animals attacking me? I'm so sorry. They are really attacking me.
Killed over there.
Right, Lumpy dog.
Mine are nice. They're all like, even the dog, they're all laying right here in this
I'm always
area.
being attacked. If it's not the cats, the dogs, if the fish could jump out and bonk me in the head, they would. I mean, I just feel they would. Right, keeping a journal is a good thing to do, like Lumpy and Roman are talking about.
I've tried that, and then I stopped doing it.
Yeah. Well, one thing right now, I don't keep a lot of different fish this time around the hobby. I'm just, you know, I'm very basic. I've got well water. I have bettas, and now I've got the rice fish and some pygmies and pygmy cories, the guppies, stuff like that, and they're doing well. So, but now I do want to keep some specialty fish. I just don't know if I'm ready, because I did that the first time around the hobby where I tried to chase water parameters for discus and different fish. I had scats. I had all kind of different fish, brackish fish, and I loved them, but I don't remember really enjoying the hobby as much as I do right now because I was always nervous. I was always scared I was going to do something wrong. And then, of course, if you don't do something right, you lose your fish. And they're, especially fish like discus or scat, they're expensive. That's a lot of responsibility to take on.
Yeah, and I actually find the betta fish to be on a sensitive side. So
yeah,
they're not like a good beginner fish.
Now, for me, they have been perfect. You know, I haven't had any problems, but I know you have had different, but it could be the difference in our water or anything. You never know. Please take these dogs. Take them. There's one.
Well, I honestly, like, I've been doing the bowl aquariums.
Yeah.
And I've been learning from each one.
Yeah.
So, like, the first one I set up, I had way too much soil in. And this was back before I could get, like, answers from Father Fish. And I was, like, doing my best to pick his brain and ask him, like, how would you set up a bowl? And I never got an answer. So I finally just did it myself.
Yeah.
And like, I've heard you say and other people, and I'm just kind of a little stubborn and thick-headed, and I have to try it.
Yeah.
and then learn from my mistakes. So,
and John also said it too, you know, the feeding of fish, like overfeeding your fish. I used to be the world's worst at seeing those little hungry eyes, and I just wanted to feed them all the time. And, you know, it's hard for me to go buy a betta and feed them like 3 granules of food. You know, I want to feed them like a whole cube of bloodworms. You know, that doesn't work. But I'm just saying.
I still don't know, like, what's overfeeding a betta. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I like today I just fed him maybe 6 of those nuggets, the betta bites.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I feed very little bits. Or I just feed like a couple of little pieces. If I have to feed them more than once a day, I just give them like 2 little. Well, I'll show you. I started feeding. Here's all my little products here that I've been feeding. I tried out a new food recently. Of course, for the price, it was like $5. It's kind of one of those little specialty things that's like packaged real pretty. Like if you're one of those organic food people, you would want to buy this food. But it's called Ultra Fresh. And I saw it
Oh,
on
Miss
Amazon.
Mary. Oh, Miss Mary.
Ah, there we go. And it looked really good,
That's
and I
so
do
funny.
like it. Oh, you got the tropical. Do you like it?
I haven't, no, okay. I'm doing a video. It's coming out. And I
Uh-huh.
talk about this fish food. So I'm publishing the video. It'll probably be published tomorrow. So tune back in, guys. It's like a vlog style video. And
Yeah.
I go off and I talk about what I feed my fish and all the types of fish.
I want to
food.
try that one.
So
This is called shrimp patties.
I haven't
Let's
seen
see.
that one. But I
Betta
honestly,
Pro.
I started looking for food based off of Dr. Novak saying use a food with zero phosphates. So I went looking for a food that had like zero phosphates, and this is what I found.
Right. I've
But
been wanting to try Dr. Basilier's. Yeah.
I've ordered this after making that video. So
Oh, okay.
I'll watch the video to see why I ordered this.
All right. Chris Stubbs Aquatics has been doing one where he's feeding his fish and he's calling the shorts, let your fish do the talk, or let the fish do the talking by, feeding them and seeing if the fish eat it or not. And he's had a bunch of them that's like, no, they don't like it. But this,
I know what my fish
I think they like this. Mm-hmm. This has got mysis. I think it's mysis shrimp.
Love and like. If you watch the video, you'll see why I no longer feed it. I talk about that. Little teeny tiny.
Oh, there it went.
I haven't seen that. Did you get that off of Amazon?
Mm-hmm. That would be as much as I feed a betta. And they're teeny.
I was looking
but they do like it.
Suggested products, and they didn't show that one.
Yeah, it's called Betta Pro.
I think they showed this one. I forget if they had one for larger. Oh, they might have had one for like cichlids, like even larger fish. But I didn't see that one.
The other one I have, but I got the wrong food, guys. This is not. And actually, I need to I need to send this to somebody because it's going to go to waste with me. But I got the Extreme Nice, and it's way too big for my fish, and it's hard. Like it'd probably be good for cichlids. But it's really like you'd almost have to soak it to feed it to a small fish or grind it up. But it has like neon. Of course, it's got neon tetras and everything on the front, but I can't feed it to my fish. My fish are way too small. So, and like I had a rice fish actually choke on a piece of it. Not saying food's bad. It was just too big, and I dropped too big of a piece in there, and he literally really got choked on it. So. But, rice fish are teeny fish anyway. That's just my experience. That's not everybody.
Well, this little guy tried to feed our betta and dumped a whole lot of the bug bites in there. So I had to do water cleaning the next day. I was like,
right, Roman.
You left in there. And
I thought about grinding it up and making like fry food out of it. But that's a lot of food for a couple of nano fish. That's going to last forever. I wish I'd got the flakes or the Extreme Krill Flakes is what I wish. I honestly thought I had got the krill flakes. I don't know what I did, but I hit the wrong thing.
Yeah, I see MD use the flakes and he crushes them up, so it's nice because you crush them up for different size fish.
Yeah.
What do you want? But that's one thing I've been like a little bit unhappy with the bug bites lately is that there's like it's like a powder and then little larger nuggets, and then I'm like I try to get fish out the nuggets, and I'm getting a lot of powder. I do
lately. That's as far as foods go, commercial foods. That's got to be my favorite though. Is the bug bites. I really do like it. Oh, Fanatical said full brand name. Which one of the one I had or Cassie had? It's the brand name is Ultra Fresh for both of ours.
Well, we have the same food, so
yeah, it's Ultra Fresh is the company.
Honestly, I never even looked at the brand name. I was just like, this is what I got.
Yeah.
I don't even think I called it out on my video either. So that's the first, now that you mentioned it, it's hard to see because it's like, this is so big. Like they definitely don't talk about their brand. And
Right.
Make that,
It's supposed to be like
Make that
higher
forthcoming.
quality. It's supposed to have like higher quality. The protein is, I forget what it is. Of course, I can't see it. I'd have to get my magnifying glass out. But it's really high in protein, like maybe 50-something%. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
mine says 45% protein.
But it's made out of mysis shrimp and different things. But there's still like corn and some other things in here. And I just don't know about corn for fish, but okay.
The writing is so tiny, guys.
Yeah, it's really little.
Like, you really gotta like pull this up on the website and enlarge it.
And I'm old. I can't see it.
But the thing that really sold me was that it said it's all
Hippie
natural.
John, I agree. My fish loved the bug bites, the granules, but my fish did not like the flakes. I don't know what was with that, but yep.
Somebody was asking. Oh, Lumpy Dog was like, put that food in a coffee grinder.
Yeah, the extreme. But I thought about just maybe giving it away to somebody. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and then if you have, what are those things called? I can't remember now.
Oh, a mortar.
The
mortar. Yeah, the little mortar thing.
You can crush it into a powder if you need to. And I was doing that for the baby fish. I'm making my own fish food for the babies.
Roxanne sent me the tetracolor granules, which they're kind of, fish love those things. They do. I don't know what it is about, but I really like that food. I like the tetracolor granules. It needs more variety. That's kind of like giving them McDonald's all the time. They like it too much. It's too much like snacks.
So that's what I switched from that to this, but I have the smaller size. I have the micro pellet size.
Yeah, so, that's what these are, micro pellets.
So yeah, watch my video. I talk all about it. I talk about
I will definitely check that out.
Tropical granules. And they're recommended, like they're recommended by a big YouTuber, which is why I bought them. And the fish really do love them.
They claim cleaner water, less waste, all that good stuff. So
my issue was really with algae. Like I was getting so much algae feeding that food. So I had to switch. And I'm like, well, Dr. Novak says you actually get algae because your food has phosphates. So it's like, let me go find a food that has 0 phosphates. Which is why Father Fish recommends feeding live food, because you're not going to have that problem if you feed live food. But it's
mosquito larvae and
hard to get live food. So this, in my opinion, is like the next best thing if you can't get live food.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucas, LRB.
I would not feed that tetratropical. I've stopped doing it, and like I was getting all kinds of like the black. I think it was black beard algae on my leaves.
Okay, Lumpy Dog says phosphorus is only one possible algae cause.
All right, watch my video.
Oh, my lips! I got to watch your video. I'm going to watch your video.
Yes, I mentioned that, but it is a big cause. It is if you want to feed your fish and you're feeding your fish heavily, it's a big cause.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, Fanaticals. Says they grind it up and put it in to Repashy gels. That's a good idea to do with foods like that. Okay, cats, I've had enough of you guys. Stop.
One thing that didn't make the video was how the Danios, how I lost my Danios. I started talking about it, and then just for the sake of time, I cut it out. But my Danios, I think, were not getting enough food because the granules are too large. They couldn't eat those, so they weren't getting any food, and they basically kind of starved. And then I think the brim ate them.
Oh, okay.
So I have no more zebra Danios in that aquarium.
Oh.
And I'm not going to. Yes, my aquariums are planted, Lumpy Dog. So that is my aquarium right there, and it has. I
love the crypts in it. The crypts are really pretty. Look at those.
I've
Looking
got two
good.
giant sword plants in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got.
I have one of her sword plants. That's where that came from.
Oh, I have three
Kass.
kinds of crypts in there now. And I have just to the right, I have the dwarf sag, and my brim is eating that. So my brim's munching on the leaves. So he's not getting fed enough, and he's starting to eat the plants. Like, he really likes the dwarf sag. And now he's starting to munch on the taller crypts. So I'm finding, like, ends being bitten off.
It's a wonder he hasn't eaten the swords. Usually swords are pretty tasty.
No, I don't think he's touching this. Honestly, he never touched any of the plants in there until I planted the dwarf sag. And now he's starting to like the crypt, what is it, the Wisteria? Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the taller one that you see in the front near the sword. I saw the tip of that leaf's been munched off. So I'm like, oh. So if he doesn't get fed, he starts eating the leaves.
Yeah. And that's right, Lumpy. That's why your nitrates are usually at 0, because those swords, they are great to eat up all the nitrates in your water.
Yeah, I never have any readings of nitrates.
Were those the ones you collected?
Ammonia.
Didn't you collect them out of your pond? Or am I right?
No,
or did you buy those?
Nothing in here is collected anymore. Everything has now been store-bought. I tried some plants out from my pond, and I tried the moneywort.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name for it. I tried the Bacopa.
Is that where the Bacopa I got that you sent me?
Not
is that
one.
some of that?
It's not the same one. It's the I'm trying to think of the name.
This was the Carolinia or something.
Yeah, that's the Carolinia. No, it's the Monterey.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think the nickname for it is moneywort. But
okay.
I just didn't like it. It was dropping on its leaves, trying to acclimate to my water, and so I did pull it out and tried to plant something else instead.
Yeah.
It basically was melting back, and I didn't let it adjust, I guess, and pulled it out.
Pennywort. That's what Scott says.
Not the pennywort, though. It's the moneywort one.
Moneywort.
Anyway, it's on my channel. It's like one of my most popular videos.
I remember that. That was one of your first videos.
It's still like people still go back and watch that. I'm like, do you know how much that aquarium has changed since I planted those plants? Because that was like going on 2 years ago now, and that was at setup. And it's hard to believe.
We've been here for 2 years. How'd that happen?
I've slowly added plants over time as you know, as I can. Like, you know, I go out and I'm like, I'll try to buy 2 or 3 plants at a time and add them. But this was at startup. I tried just going out in nature and finding stuff. So I planted wild anacris, and then I found have store-bought moneywort. And then I was like, wait a second, I have plants in my pond that look just like this. So I made that video, and I'm like, pond versus store-bought.
Do you still have your subwasser tang in your tank? In your other tank?
I took it out of the 40 because it was getting too much algae. And so you can see there's algae on the heater back there. Mm-hmm. And that string algae is like, it's growing because I trimmed the Bacopa down way too much. And like, as a result, like it kind of died off and melted back. And I've got the string algae in the back from that as a result.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always had kind of algae issues in this aquarium. And that's one reason I really would like to try out the Dr. Novak system and see if that helps with algae.
It'll be interesting to see. I think it's good to always experiment.
So I've also just I just did a water change, and I tried to suck up the remaining whatever was back there. Like cyanobacteria will grow in place of plants when plants die back. So in this aquarium, where I had a lot of dieback. I had cyanobacteria growing in the back there. And every water change, I'll just suck it up if I find it. But it's pretty much gone now.
Are these the ones that are still like in your dining room that gets like some of the sunlight through the windows? Okay.
Yes, this is in the dining room. It gets evening sun. But the Subwasser thing is in the shrimp jar. So
okay.
So yeah, that's the one. I made a video of that and I tagged you and I was like, hey, I got this.
Yeah.
This is from Mary. And I called, what's that? I did a shout out to you.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do yet since to the back there, I used to have the Carolinia in the back. I don't know what I want to put there in its place. And that's always been kind of a hard section to plant and trying to find a plant to put there.
You need to try, which I love it, but it's a Pogostemon stellatus octopus. But now it will get leggy on you if you're not careful. But I just like the way that it's like a super easy plant. It sucks up lots of nitrates and it really helps keep algae down. And I just love it. And the only place I've found it is on the Aquarium Co-op. Every time I order from them, I always get another plant. And I really love that plant. It's so easy. I don't think I have any in this one. No, I took it out of here. It's in my other one. But it's one of those plants that you can put that only in an aquarium and it'll just take over and make the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's good for shrimp and
it's one of those things where you just have to try plants out and see how they work. And I've done a lot of that. I've tried a lot of plants. I tried Kabamba. Well, not a lot, but I've tried Kabamba and that didn't work. That would get coated in the cyanobacteria. So I couldn't keep Kabamba and it would just slowly die off because of the cyano. And that was what was in the back behind the sword before the sword just completely took over and got enormous. So now I'm thinking I'd like to try to get some moss and put it in the back corner, maybe attach it to some rocks and try out moss. But I don't know. I don't want it to. That was the point of the Subwasser thing. Like I don't want it to get coated in algae.
Yeah, I love it, Roxanne. Now there's another kind of Pogostemon something, but it's more like a high-tech plant that needs CO2 that kind of grows. I know Corvus Oskin, Joel, but it's like a little shorter, stubbier plant, and it's really pretty. And I think Pogostemon stellatus octopus grows in differently too if you use CO2. But like for a low light, easy aquarium plant, I can recommend it to beginners. I like it. The only plant I have no luck with for some reason is water wisteria. I don't care what tank I put it in, it dies every time.
I haven't.
But I've tried to plant it too. Some people say it's better if you just float it. So.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I tried Java Fern in here, but that was before I knew that it was an epiphyte plant, like Anubias. So I didn't know, they had it kind of in pots at the store. So I tried to plant it in the back there.
Yeah.
And then that's when I replaced it with the Bacopa Carolinia.
That was one of the reasons I gave up on planted tanks the first time I went around, because I bought a bunch of Java Fern and didn't know, and I planted it all and it died. And I was like, I can't grow plants. And I never tried again after that, not realizing that you needed to stick it on some driftwood or on a rock.
Well, I'd heard that, so I knew that was the case, but I wasn't quite sure how to put it in there and how to attach it. And because they had it potted, I figured I could plant it. So
yeah.
I did try planting it, but now it's in my 20 gallon. I'm trying to get it to grow in the 20 gallon, but I think I end up adding. I think it does better when I started adding.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Liquid iron.
Okay.
So I think that's helped, just dosing it with the liquid iron in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember to do that all the time, so I can get forgetful.
Not like you're a busy mom substituting, wife, housemaker. I don't know why you would forget to do something.
No, I remember to do like to dechlorinate, but I'll forget to like add the fertilizer, and then I'm like, well, why am my Java ferns not doing so? It's not growing. It's dying back a little. It's getting like it's starting to brown. I'm like, oh, maybe it's time to dose.
Yeah. I've never tried like the Easy Green, but I did use some of Dustin's fish tanks, whatever, his Dustin's growth juice. That was it. I liked it pretty good, but I didn't use it fast enough, and it got like a weird cloudiness in it. But since I've been doing like Father Fish's dirty tanks, I haven't really had any, I don't have to fertilize them. Although I did get some,
Yeah,
I'm trying these too.
I don't
the little
fertilize
root tabs.
1 gallon at all.
Which basically all these root tabs is just a little capsule full of dirt. I mean, that's basically what it is, a little capsule full of dirt.
Well, I suspect some of my algae problems are from nutrition in that tank from being dirted, and maybe putting too much of a dirt layer at the bottom.
Yeah.
Layer.
See, I've cut down, I think it was Roxanne and I were talking about, like, I've cut down the amount of dirt I use. Like, I use, say, if I'm going to do a 20-gallon tank, I might use like 2 cups of dirt and I mix it with gravel and sand and make a base layer, kind of like MD used to do. He used to do stuff all the time, and he'd mix up this substrate, and I put it down, and then I always, but the main thing is really capping it, putting that 2 inches to 3 inches of sand on top of it and making sure that soil doesn't get up into the water colony. And I haven't had any problems with mine. So,
well, I've been watching him too, and I noticed, he would always say like, oh, there's too much nutrition under there. So
yeah,
like, no matter how much you cap it, like I think there's still maybe a chance of nutrition coming out. So I definitely would use less. Then I would do less than the 1 inch. And I'm starting to think, like, follow what MD's doing. Like, I think he's honing it in and finding out what really works with the substrate layer. And I think he's probably watching Father Fish, because that's why he added soil.
He does. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you've been watching Father Fish. So, but I really think he's dialing it in and figuring it out, like what to use.
Like Roxanne just said, and this is exactly it. I use just enough dirt not to see the bottom. That's all you need until the fish start pooping, which is true. So I like that. I like that look of having, the dirted bottom or whatever. That's where I kind of came into either adding like some old substrate from another tank, and then mixing a little dirt in with it, which is basically, the Wallstat method was soil with gravel on top. And then Father Fish took it a step further by putting the sand on top. So I just mix my gravels and a little sand in the soil, and I get soil out of my yard.
He capped it more and made it deeper.
And made it deeper.
But my thing is like, you only have so much swim room now.
Right.
If you keep going deeper, you're gonna run out of room for your fish. You still have room for your fish in there.
You're right. And see, I'm weird. I like the deep substrate. Like, I don't know why I like it. I guess I like it because I know what kind of filtration it's creating for the tank, especially with the tank or with the plants. So, can I be right back? I'm sorry. I need to do something real quick. I'll be right back. I didn't realize what time it is. It's almost 9:30.
It's late, but we'll wrap this up here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm fine. I just need to go check on the kids real quick. So I'll be right back.
I'm getting the reminders, like the kids are coming in and going, it's late. Why are you still talking? But I definitely agree with you, Roxy. I don't see that you need that 1 inch anymore. Like just a little bit will go a long way. And my aquarium here is proof that I have a ton of fertilization because the swords are very large and giant. But not all plants, I think, appreciate that. the fluorite. Yeah, fanaticals. 3-year-old fluorite. I have laterite. I don't know if that's the same or not. So I plan on adding this is fluorine base. I plan on adding the laterite as the layer. And I'm going to use the kitty litter. I'm going to use the laterite in there. And I hear a lot of people talk about laterite. And before I knew about it, and the only reason I know about it now is because of Dr. Novak, but I've heard people mention it before and saying it's really good stuff and the plants do really well with it. And it's like, according to Dr. Novak, like that's all you really need is the plants need the iron the most out of any other fertilizer.
Now let's see, is
the clay has a lot of nutrients for the plants, and then the laterite, I guess, has like the iron.
Yeah.
And I think fluorite does kind of what the laterite does.
Okay, I was wondering, is fluorite like laterite? I was thinking maybe in the same.
Similar.
Okay.
It's similar, but like I think if you can't get laterite, I would use fluorite. I think is the next best thing. But if you can get it, try to get the laterite if you can.
Okay.
And I mean, and you can now. I don't know why they were saying there was a shortage on it. So, I mean, I was able to get this off of Amazon, and I think I'll have plenty to do all the aquariums that I need to do. And like you said, Mary, I'll have plenty left over.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too expensive. So, but yeah, it is like if you're going to buy soil, it's about like, I don't know, the cost of the soil that you would use instead.
Yeah.
So, like if you're using the organic potting soil for your aquarium, like I did, which I used, like in my opinion, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have used as much. But
especially in bowls.
I think it's good to try things. And like, I only have a few aquariums, so I wanted to get it right from the start. And so I did a lot of research and looking around and seeing what's out there that will be the best system and budget friendly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Father's Fish's system is definitely budget friendly.
Right. Hey,
I'm working. Get it out of your backyard.
I'm working with no budget here, so yeah, it works great for me.
Yeah, because I mean, you can go to your backyard and get soil if you need soil.
Me too, Roxanne.
I'm gonna try your black sand, Mary. I'd like to try that.
Oh my gosh, the black diamond sandblasting sand. I love it. Yeah. Like I used to get that Imaginarium or whatever from like Petco or whatever, which I love that sand. It's great sand. But I bought a bag of that black diamond sandblasting sand. I think it's 25 pounds for less than $9. And that's what's in all my tanks. I mean, I love it. And then this new tank I just set up, this is the first time I've used, like I said, the white sand. And it is the, Carib Sea Supernaturals. So, but I like the black sand. I think the fish look good against it. The shrimp look good against it. Sometimes it does get like, especially if you got mystery snails, Roxanne will know that. But if you got mystery snails, they'll leave a lot of poopies on it. But you can, I mean, every once in a while, I just freshen it up. I just get a handful and kind of sprinkle it over it. And one of the things Father Fish always said is if you're getting too much of a mold buildup, you just need to ding, 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 add some more sand. So, when it gets a buildup on it, I'll just put another sprinkling of sand over it and it does fine. And it's easy and cheap and it works. So
now the aquarium behind me, I think I'm going to do the black sand in here. Mm-hmm. Like, where did you get your sand? Like, so I'm trying to find out. Like, now, I could just go to Tractor Supply.
The black diamond comes from Tractor Supply, and they have it there. Or if you're doing it, I mean, it's like $17 or $18 on Amazon is what that Imaginarium sand is, and it's 10 pounds. I don't know. It's not very much, but it's like $20. You might as well say, where you get 25 pounds of black diamond sandblasting sand for $8 or $9. And I mean, I had one bag, and I mean, I just made aquarium after aquarium, bowls, everything with it. And I still have some left over. So you can't beat that. And it doesn't break down. It doesn't change the water chemistry. I've had corridoras on them. It doesn't like affect their little barbels or, you know, all it is coal slag is what it is. And it's like what's left over after they process coal, if I'm saying that correctly. But it's just I think it's a great economical choice.
What do you say if I like pool filter sand or black diamond sand? If I have a side-by-side with the 240s, should I do them the same?
For me, I don't know.
Or do one black and the one is already pool filter. Should I do the new one black or keep it the same?
I think you should try the black. I think what you'll do is end up changing the pool filter sand to black too.
Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of like, I'm not really liking the look of it in the 40 right now because
the pool filter sand, just like all white sand, it's going to show like a little bit of the algae and the mulm a little bit more than, you know, it kind of gets dirty looking. I mean, it's not. It is an aquarium. It is fish in there. I mean, it's going to have a little, and that's natural. But the black, like this is really dirty right now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like seriously like dirty. It needs to be like, I don't know. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But it's almost like it's just got a little dust over it. And it's not bad. And a lot of it, where I feed the mystery snails, I put those, Roxanne made those wait a minute, they're not alfalfa bombs anymore, but she made some food and it's got the calcium in it. So a lot of it's just dust off of that calcium, but you can see it in there. But it eventually works its way down in the bottom, and I don't know. I just think it looks a lot neater.
Yeah,
just a personal.
I think so too. I think, and I've always looked at your aquarium and admired it and gone, it does to me look cleaner. So I'd like to give it a try.
Yeah. But I think you'll like it.
I'm not sure where to get the sand.
Yeah.
I know where to find pool filter sand.
Right.
I didn't know where to get that.
That was my thing. I couldn't find pool filter sand anywhere. I went to everybody was out. Everywhere I went to the pool shops. I went to Lowe's. It was always gone. Of course, you can use concrete sand. You can use play sand, but it's so dusty. You have to wash it. It's got like that silt in it. It kind of turns to concrete itself. But the black diamond sand, it's kind of slick. You know, it's kind of got almost feels like not glass, but it's got like a kind of a slicker feel to it. So it doesn't like compact down. It kind of stays where the mulm and stuff can filter down in it. It doesn't get compacted. Am I saying that correctly? Well, try different colors of sand. Right. Roman says just try them all.
Just pour them in. Get the layered look. I was going to just do pool filter sand when I was going to do the saltwater setup and just, or go get the Carib Sea sand for saltwater fish. So
now my 15-gallon I had before when I first started coming on with Father Fish, it was, oh gosh, I can't believe I just went blank. What is not fluorite? What's the other one that everybody uses? The little clay. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I just went completely blank. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's another question. I was like going to try. I was thinking about maybe adding a pleco.
Stratum. I can't say it.
Google stratum.
Yeah, I had stratum and I loved stratum. But stratum eventually will kind of exhaust itself. But instead of switching it out, that's when I bought that black Imaginarium sand, and that's when I first met Father Fish. He said, just cap it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started growing plants like crazy. That was like the best aquarium ever.
Well, I capped my gravel, but like I don't have I have to fertilize that tank because I capped it over gravel. So there's there's nothing in there as a nutrient base.
Right.
John says, as long as you have movement in the tank, it'll help keep your tank clean.
That's another thing I noticed with having sponge filters. Like there gets to be a little more buildup in there than it does when you have a hang on the back filter. I've noticed that.
Not showing up on the StreamYard, so I would try to hide that, but I have no comments showing up in StreamYard tonight.
Oh, good night, Fanaticals. Says it's 2:30 a.m. there. I need some too. I'm getting tired. I can't even think anymore.
I can't stay up that late.
And the family's hollering. So I told them I'd be off at 9. And they're like, why aren't you in here?
Yeah, we will. So the last thing I wanted to say was the plecos. So I think, instead of having a power head, I was thinking about doing another bottom dweller and trying out a pleco in there to try to move some of that around.
Have you kept bristlenose before?
No, I've other than the mystery snail, I tried Corydoras and they didn't work out for me.
Yeah. Oh, well, and especially young plecos. Like if you get them when they're kind of small, a lot of people don't want to sell them when they're like little, but I want them as little babies because when they're little babies, they are cleaning machines. They are so good. I love bristlenose. They are the perfect.
MD I just watched a video where he has like 2 lemon ones or 3 lemon ones.
Oh, the lemon blue eyes.
Yeah, and he had a regular one. So he had 4 total, and I think, he's in the UK, so I think it was a 40-gallon tank or 50, I don't know.
Or the long fins. The long fins are so pretty.
But it cleaned up his entire tank, like it was spotless. So I'm like,
do you remember when I left my tank for like 4 months? I left my tanks for like 4 months, and a guy here at a pet store gave me 3 baby bristlenose, and I took it home, and I had all that mulm and all that junk in there, and the whole glass was covered in slime. They had that tank cleaned up in no time. It was amazing.
So the question is, what do you do, I guess, after they clean it up? Then now you got to feed them. There's no more food.
Well, there's when you get into having fun, like feeding them vegetables, green beans, cucumbers, zucchini. Who is it? Sharpie. He's always talking about, John Sharpie talks about feeding them everything from the grocery store, like from carrots to broccoli to mushrooms. I haven't fed all that, but I love to feed them zucchini and the green beans and the
I want a small fish though, because the 40 is not that big. So will they get too big in there?
I think a full-grown pleco, and they need wood too, like John just said. You need like a little piece of driftwood or something in there to help supplement them too.
I used to have driftwood in there, and I took it out because the Nubius was getting too much algae on it.
Right. They are pooping machines too, but I can't say anything wrong about a pleco. I love my bristlenose. I'd never had bristlenose till this time in the hobby. I guess I'd never even heard of them. Back the first time around, all we had was a common pleco, and I had one that was like 2 foot long. And,
I want to stay small. Like these species,
they only get very small. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a full-grown bristlenose maybe gets 5 inches. Am I right? I think maybe. But also, if you get them little, it takes them a little while to. They say a 20-gallon should be your least size that you keep them in. Although I've kept baby ones in my 5 gallons just till they grow, just to have them in there to clean.
Well, my other problem is I think I'm kind of at the limit. So I'm hoping that if I add a fish, I'm not going to my canary in the coal mine is my Rasbora. Yeah. I'm hoping I'm not going to lose the Rasbora if I add a fish. your tanks are established enough, and you've got like deep substrate and that kind of stuff, and you've got a lot of plants. So now plecos sometimes will eat your swords. I will say that. Mine, I fed them well enough that they didn't bother my swords, but they have been known to eat swords. Well, I think MD, he has swords in there, and he has all kinds of plants in there, and they didn't seem to mess with him. Yeah. He's the reason why I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a pleco. Right. And they are slow growing. Like, I kept little ones in my 5-gallon tanks forever. Like, they stayed in there for a long time, but they're slow growing, and John says up to 6 inches. That's what I thought. 6 inches is still too big. I wish there was one that didn't get over 4. But a lot of that, the length is their fins. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the actual fish, but what did Carlos, your average fish keeper that sent me these? I haven't shown you these. Edward, did you see my videos, the Vienna guppies that I got and the rice fish? And he sent me 2 snowball plecos, but we had that bad winter
snowstorm, and they didn't make it. I was so sad. They were just little teeny little snowball plecos. And I don't know if maybe they get about the same size as the bristlenose, but they have little white polka dots all over them. So I'm hoping to get some more. Try it again.
I know.
Hey,
Well,
Jimmy P.
Hello.
There's Jimmy P.
Yeah,
Hello,
Jimmy.
love.
Jimmy just showed up. Hey, Jimmy. Well, I think we're about to, wrap it up for the night.
They do have
I'm
long, stringy
tired.
poop. Pleco poop's a real thing, Roman.
I guess, I've been avoiding them because I don't have a large aquarium, and I'm like, I don't want large fish in there. So I've
No, get you a bristlenose. Do it. Just do it. You won't be sorry.
I tried the Cory catfish, and they just kept dying off for me. So I've had trouble with Cories.
The easiest Cories I've ever kept are like just the plain old albino Cories.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they just didn't like my water parameters, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if it's because it was an early setup and I was doing things to kill the cyano, and then I lost some Cories.
Could have been right.
And I have fish in there that eat the food before the Cories get to it, so I don't know if they were just starving.
That's another thing. Making sure they get fed.
Factors, and I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I give up on the Cories for now. But the poop, like my balloon mollies and my platies have very stringy poop. So
Father Fish. They were just talking about eating the common plecos. We were talking about that on Father Fish today. They just seem like they'd be so bony. I don't know if there'd be much in there, but
well, they do get very big. I'm sure they get big like catfish.
Now regular common pleco does. They get, like I said, I had a 75-gallon one time. And I know
they
that
might
thing was
invasive. They I think fish keepers buy them and it's too big for my aquarium, so they go ditch them in
and release them. Yep.
Release them into the wild. So I think there's probably a lot in the wild here in Florida.
Oh, there is. Watch I think it's Steve Poland. One of the first videos I ever saw on YouTube was about the invasive plecos in Florida. And the underwater footage of those thousands, like the whole bottom of the, waterways was just solid plecos.
They just
I was like, whoa.
In my opinion, they shouldn't sell them anymore in pet stores. And the
good Roman.
Associate,
Jimmy P.
steers me away from them. So I don't even know if they have them for sale, but they definitely don't recommend them. So
yeah.
It's probably good because they will outgrow most average fish keepers' aquarium.
Yeah, they do. And they'll outgrow a tank. You can put them in a 75-gallon tank, and it's, you're going to have too big of fish.
Yeah, they just don't belong in the hobby.
Right. It's like Pacu and all that stuff. Be calling the Ohio Fish Rescue. Jimmy P said he was sorry he was late, Cassie, but I subscribed and hit your bell for next time.
Well, thank you. I'm
sweetheart.
hoping that we do it soon. I'd like to do one around Valentine's Day if Mary's up for it. So we'll be back. And comment below. Let me know what you guys want us to talk about. If you're happy with the way it's going and we're just, two ladies in a fish room just talking about our aquariums.
This is like me and her just calling each other on the phone and just talking, and y'all are just witnessing it.
Yeah, well, I try to keep it entertaining for y'all.
Oh, you do.
I mean, I know we have a lot of I don't want to run anybody off because I started the father fish system and now I'm kind of pivoting.
Right, John.
I'm trying to do a different setup just to see if it'll help with the algae.
Yeah.
And
hey, it's worth a try.
I want to feed my fish. So the one disadvantage of doing the father fish method is you can't feed your fish very much. With the Dr. Novak method, you can feed your fish. That's one plus that I like about it. But I don't want to offend anybody. So, comment below, let me know if you're okay with that. I guess asking permission. Am I allowed to talk about this with y'all? Just I don't want to offend anyone.
I like that we can talk. And then if we're talking about something that doesn't make any sense, we've got plenty of great fish keepers here that can call us out and say, whoa, girls, y'all need to, wait, you got this wrong. You know, like John just said, there's many different types of bristlenose.
The people who are in the comments in the chat talking, I'm like, I want to learn from you guys too. So make your own videos and I'll go watch them.
Exactly. But I sure am thankful that you guys are in the community and y'all are in the comments, because that's where I learn a lot. It's just reading, you know, even if I'm not in a live stream, I'm just sitting there lurking and reading comments. So many great people that know what they're talking about.
The other thing with doing the bowl aquariums is I've learned a lot from the bowl aquariums because they're smaller and I can try them out easier. Like they're easier to set up. So I'll be like, well, that didn't work. I'll know right away. Let me try the next one out with less soil. Well, that worked better. Let me try this one with no soil. It's a lot.
That's what it is. It's learning.
That's a nice part. But because I've tried 3 bowl aquariums, and the third one I set up with 0 soil, but I had no place to put it. So I had kind of poor planning on that one. So it ended up in the window seat and just grew algae. And it's still in the window seat. Well,
your aquarium looks great. The one you've got on the wet fish cam, it looks really good. It looks great.
I'm trying to get a shelf though, Mary, so I can get like a better setup for the bowl aquariums. And then I can actually start setting them all up the same way and with all the same lighting. And that's my third project on my list. You know, this square behind me, the 40, and then a nice setup. I'm hoping a shelf, that shelf I can buy will hold the weight of bowl aquariums. So that's the other thing is like whatever I buy. I've been really hesitant to buy a shelf, and the one I have, I've been hesitant to use because it's not reinforced. So I'm trying to get something that will hold the weight.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you, and I'm so glad we finally got it together to do this. And like Roxanne and I we do those, we do the open panel nights. Hopefully, maybe you come up and join us too.
Okay,
we would love to have you.
Try to do so. I tend to just be like eating dinner at that time. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not ready.
Oh gosh, yeah. If I'm not gonna get on live stream, I'm in pajamas. I've got the bed head that's everywhere, and you don't want to see me.
Or it's a school night. And I'm like, we have to get up early. So I will try. Just give me like a please notice, and I'll do my best.
Jimmy P says, like it or not, Cass, I'm a fan now. I'm a Jimmy P fan.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Have you ever watched any of Jimmy P? He does live stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you want to be it doesn't really showcase Jimmy too much. Me and Roxanne just took over his stream, and he didn't have any choice, but we had a good time. He is just an absolute sweetheart. Such a good person.
I did watch one of Jimmy's streams a while ago where he was just trying to find out, I think he was asking the question about who's on YouTube, like who's who's worth watching, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah. There's so many live streams. It's hard to do them all. So ours is more like we're just talking and hanging out. We appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out with us and helping us with what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Roman. And I will continue to try out other methods and just see which one works. And I'm going to share it with you guys, whatever I do. So. Oh
man, you make really great videos. Mine are pitiful. I mean, I'm just with the phone, just shooting it, everything. But yours are they're nice and edited and beautiful and very professional. You've got some good stuff going on. I try
to get it all done when the kids are in school and when I'm not subbing or making earrings or doing banners behind me.
Yeah.
I try to squeeze it in.
She's
when they're
very
at
crafty.
school. And
Very
then
crafty.
I try to get it done because I know I'm going to get kicked off the computer when they come home. Or get nagged if I'm not off. You know, and they're like,
Right.
"Give me the
That's what they're
computer."
doing to me now. They like, you've been on live stream since 6 o'clock.
Okay, we're coming, family.
We're
getting
trying.
off.
We're trying. Y'all go to bed. They should be in bed. They shouldn't even be bothering us.
When tomorrow's a holiday, so I mean, they're watching movies while I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking to you all. But yeah, my video's gonna come out. It's uploaded. I just have to finish up the little details, and then I think I'm going to publish it, and it'll be ready for you guys tomorrow. So it's just like a vlog for February, and I talk about my fish food. There was nothing planned because it's just my plan was that it was going to be a February vlog.
Sometimes those
And
are
I
the best.
lasted 2 days.
Yeah.
It got
Okay,
too long.
John. Oh, yeah, Danikin's on. He's still got 10 more minutes. I need to stop over there and say hello, too.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to get off for Danny. Sorry, Danny.
We were just having fun.
Right.
We love Kenny and Danny. All right. I love you, Cass. Enjoyed it so much. Thank you, guys.
I love you too, Mary. And thank you, everybody, for stopping in. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And if you have off tomorrow, have a great day tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow is. We have it off. I don't know.
I don't know. Do we have it off here, too? I don't even know.
I don't even know why they have it off. But we have it off. We have 3 days off in February for some reason.
Okay. Well, we'll find out.
But have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later, Mary.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.